Greetings in the bonds of peace, and welcome to the Vision on Ishi. My name is Dr. Lyons, a forever student of the divine vision and revelation given to the founder of the Institute of Divine Metaphysical Research, Dr. Henry Clifford Kinley, who had his vision and revelation in the year 1931 in the state of Ohio at 9 a.m., June 6th, first watch, third hour, and day of Pentecost, according to Yahweh's prophetic timetable given to the Hebrew nation. Dr. Henry Clifford Kinley proved these facts on 3 ecclesiastical peace missions around the world to every religious organization and school of the highest learning from 1958 to 1976. As a result of his divine vision and revelation, he transcribed God, the archetype, original pattern of the universe. This publication was given to every queen and king of the earth and their progenies, including all president-elects until 1980, along with a Holy Name Version Bible, revised by A.D. Trainer, and Italian Hebrew. The Holy Name Bible reveals the true and correct name and title of the Heavenly Father and His Son. The name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh. His divine title is Elohim. The name of the Son is Yahshua, the Messiah, whom the whole world erroneously calls Jesus Christ. Dr. Henry Clifford Kinley revealed to the world on his peace mission and within his publication the threefold pattern Yahweh Elohim revealed to Moses atop of Mount Sinai in 1490 BBY. And commanded Moses to build one in the wilderness of Sinai, which established the Mosaic law and cardinal ordinances. Yahweh Elohim led the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, instituting the Passover. After 40 years, Yahweh Elohim had commissioned Moses to place his hand upon Yahshua, the son of Nun, in the audience of the children of Israel, to give him charge to lead the people to the promised land before Moses had entered into Mount Nebo. 33 days later, Eleazar and the sons of Aaron, bearing the Ark of the Covenant, placed the soles of their feet upon the river Jordan, and it opened up like unto the Red Sea. Therefore, Yahshua, the son of Nun, told 12 young men of valor to retrieve 12 stones from within the river as a witness to the children of Israel that Yahweh Elohim had gave a promise to Father Abraham that they would receive Canaan's land as their inheritance 430 years before the law. Yahshua, the son of Nun, had numbered the children of Israel and confirmed the covenant of circumcision to the cherubim Michael, the host of Yahweh, the captain of the host of Yahweh, before their 40-year conquest, to remove the reproach of Egypt from the children of Israel within the promised land. This can be confirmed in Revelation, the 7th chapter, 1 through 4. 480 years after the children of Israel departed out of the land of Egypt, the foundation of this temple was laid. 7 years to the completion of this temple in correlation to the 7 days of creation, and in correlation to the 3 phenomenal days it took 3 years to defer, so that all the instruments upon the tabernacle upon Mount Zion would be placed within the temple of King Solomon upon Mount Moriah. This is a total of a 490-year cycle. The same divine service that was carried out in the wilderness of Sinai was carried out within King Solomon's temple for 33 years. Before the invasion and destruction of Israel and the temple by King Shishak, the king of Egypt. This also was revealed to John the Revelator on the Isle of Patmos, as well as Yahshua Messiah being the true temple and the Lamb of Yahweh to remove sin from the world. John bared record that Yahshua told the Pharisees and scribes of his time, "Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it again." But he spoke of the temple of his body. In like manner, John bared record that when the centurion guard had pierced Yahshua the Messiah within his side, that forthwith came blood and water. This can be confirmed in 1 John 5:7-9. Yahshua offered himself one time through his eternal spirit unto the Father to remove sin in the flesh by the operation of his death, his burial, his resurrection, his ascension, and outpouring of the Holy Spirit. On June 6, 33 AD, whereupon the 120 were persecuted for 7 years, preaching Yahshua was the Messiah and the fulfillment of the law of Moses, in correlation to the 70 years of servitude and the disbursement of the Israel among the Gentile nations, that in the process of time, in AD 40, the Gentile nation would be engrafted into the body of Yahshua the Messiah as one new man by the preaching and believing in the salvation which was once delivered unto the children of Yahweh, fulfilling his promise to Father Abraham, that all families of the earth would be blessed through thy seed singular, which is Yahshua the Messiah. These illustrations can be found on page 42 in the 1961 edition, and page 69 in the 12th edition of God, the Archetype, Original Pattern of the Universe, called The Comparative Annals and Apocalyptic Confirmation of Moses and John of the Creation. Dr. Henry Clifford Kinley gave us rules of engagement pertaining to his vision, that the manifestation will change, but the principle will remain the same. That being said, study to show thyself approved, a workman who needs not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. And may the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, teach you all things. My aims and objectives of these meetings is to help you find Yahshua the Messiah in your heart and in your mind. 1 Corinthians 15, 1-5, 1 Corinthians 6, verses 17-20, as well as 2 Corinthians 3, 1-6. My second aim and objective is to show you how Yahweh Elohim wrote his laws in your inward parts. Jeremiah 31:31, Hebrews 8, verses 10-13. My third aim and objective is to help you discern the sons of Elohim and the sons of the devil. 1 John 3rd chapter, 1 John 4, verses 1-10. My fourth aim and objective is to show and prove that Yahshua is the true Eloah, whom Yahweh hath sent. 1 John 5:20, John 17:3. My fifth aim and objective is to reveal that the children of faith in Yahshua the Messiah are the true seed of Abraham. Galatians 3rd chapter, verses 26-29. My sixth aim and objective is to make all men see what is the fellowship of the mystery, which from the beginning of the ages hath been hid in Yahweh, who created all things by Yahshua the Messiah. Ephesians 3 and 9. My seventh aim and objective is that my endeavor to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bonds of peace. Ephesians 4th chapter, 3rd verse. My eighth aim and objective is to press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of Yahweh in Yahshua the Messiah, Philippians 3 and 14. My ninth aim and objective is to make known what is the riches of the glory of this mystery among the nations, which is the Messiah in you, the hope of glory. Colossians 1 and 27. My 10th aim and objective is proving the existence and destruction of Satan and his demons through the dispensation and ages. Romans 1:18 through verse 32, Romans 2nd chapter, verses 1 through 16. At this particular time, we will have a prayer, our scripture reading, announcement, our script ascertainment and perception and direction exam. We will have a speaker and our doxology, which will be Ephesians, the 3rd chapter, verses 20 through 21. At this particular time, I will be giving you the prayer. And once again, Heavenly Father, your servant comes before you grateful and thankful for all things, Heavenly Father, pertaining to your purpose. I ask, Heavenly Father, that it be you that speaks through my body for the edification of your audience to learn something of your purpose, pattern, and plan. In these times, Heavenly Father, I ask for strength. I ask for faith and understanding. And more so, Heavenly Father, I ask for love. I ask for power. I ask for intelligence. I ask for wisdom. I ask for knowledge. I ask for justice, beauty, foundation, and strength, which are your attributes that forms your body. I ask that your attributes form my body for your purpose in righteousness, that Elohim, my King, may dwell within my heart richly and within my mind, so that I may speak boldly before thy throne the riches and the words of thy kingdom, in Yahshua's name. At this particular time, we will be having our scripture lesson. Which will be Isaiah, the 59th chapter. I will be reading out of the Holy Name Version Bible, critically compared with ancient authorities, various manuscripts revised by A.B. Trainer. Yahshua Promotions. Isaiah 59 reads as follows. Behold, Yahweh's hand is not shortened, that it cannot save, neither his ear heavy, that it cannot hear. But your iniquities have separated between you and your Elohim, and your sins have hid his face from you, that he will not hear, for your hands are defiled with blood, and your fingers with iniquity. Your lips have spoken lies, your tongues have muttered perverseness. None calleth for justice, nor any pleadeth for truth. They trust in vanity and speak lies. They conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity. They hatch cockatrice eggs and weave the spider's web. He that eateth of the eggs dieth, and that which is crushed beneath out into a viper. Their web shall not become garments, neither shall they cover themselves with their works. Their works are works of iniquity, and the acts of violence is in their hand. Their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed innocent blood. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity, wasting and destruction are in their highway. The way of peace they know not, and there is no judgment in their goings. They have made them crooked paths. Whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace. Therefore is judgment far from us, neither doeth justice overtake us. We wait for light, but behold obscurity, for brightness, but we walk in darkness. We grope for the wall like the blind, and we grope as if we had no eyes. We stumble at noonday, as in the night. We are in desolate places, as dead men. We roar like the bear, and mourn, soar like doves. We look for judgment, but there is none. For salvation, but it is far off from us. For our transgressions are multiplied before thee, and our sin testified against us. For our transgressions are with us, and as for our iniquities, we know them. In transgressing and denying Yahweh, and departing away from our Elohim, speaking oppression and revolt, conceiving and uttering from the heart words of falsehood. And judgment is turned away backwards, and justice standeth afar off. For truth is fallen in the street, and iniquity and equity cannot enter. Yea, truth felleth, and he that departeth from evil is accounted as mad. And Yahweh saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. And he saw that there was no man, and wondered that there was no intercessor. Therefore his arm brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness is sustained him. For he put on righteousness as a breastplate, and a helmet of salvation upon his head. And he put on the garment of vengeance for clothing, and was clad with zeal as a cloak. According to their deeds, accordingly he will repay. Fury to his adversities, or adversaries, recompense to him his enemies. To the islands he will repay recompense. So shall they fear the name of Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of Yahweh shall put him to flight. And the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from the transgression in Jacob, saith Yahweh. As for me, this is my covenant with them, saith Yahweh. My spirit that is upon thee, and my words which I have put in thy mouth, shall not depart out of thy mouth, nor out of thy mouth of thy seed, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, saith Yahweh, from henceforth and forever. I have read to you Isaiah, the 59th chapter. My announcements for this evening class is that, to my knowledge, Dr. Toussaint Johnson will be away for approximately 7 days. He's out of town with family. And as well, Elder Van Hook is still obligated to some of the things that her work schedule and things of that particular nature. So it is still up for grabs pertaining to either one of them to where they may join. And if not, may Yahweh bless them during their endeavors. So at this particular time, we will be picking up our ecologies. And geography takes us this evening to Miami. It says, roof of Miami Dade building partially collapsed. All apartments evacuated, and more than 30 residents were evacuated from 7500 Northwest 68th Avenue after Miami-Dade Fire Rescue responded at about 4 p.m. Thursday. So what we do is that within our ecologies, what we do is that we use our numerology. And for the most point, let us go to the calendar and see where we are in time pertaining to Yahweh Elohim's calendar that he gave to the children of Israel, pertaining to the time that he had instituted the Passover, as well as fulfill the principles of Pentecost with Yahshua the Messiah. Now, according to today, it is the 19th of July. So therefore, what we would do is that we come here and then we come to Tammuz, right? We come to the number 19 and see that it is the 108th day from Abib or Nisan the first. And when we come down, what we do is that we will see that pertaining to this particular timetable, it would be the 43rd day, pertaining to the 50 days that Yahweh Elohim had instructed the children of Israel to clean themselves up and to be at the plateau of this mountain. As well as we understand that the 40 days pertaining to a day for a year has expired at this particular time. Now, what we had just revealed to you that had pertaining to these 40 days, and which established a day for a year. So it's principally after the 40 years that the children of Israel were within the wilderness of Sinai that we have been showing you the events of the world pertaining to Yahshua, the Messiah, and how that Yahshua has been pouring out, his 7 vials of his wrath upon the earth within these 40 days, based upon the ecologies and things that we have been reading to you pertaining to the events that have been taking place within the world. So now what we do is that pertaining to the 40 days that we have been going through, since the time that the children of Israel had departed out of the land of Egypt, and we come here and we show you pertaining to the principles that we are illustrating, how that the children of Israel were out here for 40 years. And then we understand that pertaining to Eleazar, and the new birth, that they had crossed and went to and through the divided waters of the river Jordan, which allowed the children of Israel to manifest themselves over here within the land of Canaan. So now the principle of 40, which we will be picking up at this particular time, will be pertaining to the 40-year conquest that the children of Israel fought the inhabitants of Canaan's land for their inheritance that Yahweh Elohim had promised and given to Father Abraham 430 years before the law. So this is the reason why that we come here to this migratory trek to see the things that have taken place so that we can understand where we are in time. Now we understand that pertaining to the children of Israel, that this was the origin or the etymology of this whole entire situation, or the etymology, okay, where the origin of all things began. So therefore, based upon the principles that took place out here, within the wilderness of Sinai, are principles pertaining to the things that have been happening within the world based upon the things that Moses had written when Yahweh Elohim had revealed to him the creation and the writing of Moses 5 books. So therefore, the things that contain within the first 5 books of Moses and the children of Israel being within the wilderness of Sinai for some odd 40 years are pertaining to the repeats of what you're seeing within history pertaining to the things that we say that is news. So here we come to the vision and revelation of the Ishi, which we understand that manifested within the archetype pattern of the universe that was written by the founder of the Institute, Dr. Henry Kinley. And on page 69, or on page 82, we reveal to you this particular chart, that this is a vision within a vision of the founder, okay? So therefore, technically, I cannot take any credit for either one of these particular charts because these charts pertaining to the vision and revelation of our founder, see, this was a vision within a vision. And Yahweh Elohim had blessed me and allowed me to be able to see it, to write it and make it plain upon tables. And I have already revealed and showed you the foundation of this particular vision, as well as the other one. So now pertaining to the principles of 7500, what we had revealed to you previously in our previous lecture, that the 7 and 5 is principle pertaining to our 5th age and our 7th dispensation, to where we get the principles of the 7 here, and then because it's the 7th dispensation, and 5 here because of the 5th age. And we understand that zeros are placeholders. So now we come here to the vision of the founder. And as I said, this is our ages and our dispensations chart, okay? Now we reveal to you pertaining to the week of scripture that we have a week of days, we have a week of weeks, we have a week of months, we have a week of years, we have a week of years, and then we have a week of millenniums, as well as we have a week of ages. So based upon this particular chart, it reveals how everything that had manifested within the angelic creation is taken on a physical manifestation. We have taken the principles within the first age and the first age and the creative age and have applied it to the second age, which is the antediluvian age, as well as we applied it to the post-diluvian age, which is our 3rd age, as well as the present kingdom age, see, which is our 4th age, and has as well applied the principles within the 5th age, where we are presently are now, okay? So based upon, we see here that within this particular article, it says that this is the 75th hundred, and it says the principles of Northwest. So when we come to the divine vision and revelation that was given to me within the year of 2000, and we come here and we understand pertaining to the principles that I just shared with you, that it allows us to come to the vision and it brings us right here. To where it allows us to manifest ourselves within the 7th dispensation, which is manifesting right here. To where you can see where it says the new earth state, right here within the center part of this particular chart, as well as it being within the holy place and within the center divider pertaining to the principles of we shared with you by this being the holy place and the equator line, pertaining to the things that happen within the heavens and things that happen below the heavens that have manifested within the earth plane here. Okay, so these are the reason why that we pick up these particular principles so that we can show them to you, okay, because all they do is repetitiously repeat themselves over and over again. So when it says Northwest, we come here to the north and then we come here to west because we understand that it is set. So therefore, when we do that, we come here and when we use our compass, it allows us to see that we manifest ourselves right here pertaining to principles with the Messiah, okay? So now we see that we are here pertaining to those particular principles. It says now 68. Now, one thing that I want to do is that when I come right back here to this particular chart, if I could find the principles here within the archetype pattern of the universe, And if you allow me 1 second, I will try to provide these particular principles so that you can see where they have derived from pertaining to subject matter and the things that we try to convey and share with you. Okay? Because by us doing this, what we are doing is that we are authenticating the divine vision and revelation of our founder, Dr. Henry Tucker Kinley. Now, I shared with you pertaining to the book, The Archetype Pattern of the Universe, that our founder, Dr. Henry Tucker Kinley, had wrote and sent around the world. See, that when we come here to this particular page here, all right, it's revealing to you how that this particular pattern is the same pattern that this vision that is behind me derived from, okay? So this is to show you how that the founder had put this particular vision and revelation within his book, revealed it to me and allowed me to write the vision and make it plain upon tables, all right? So what I'm trying to do is pertaining to this next principle, that it says that it happened on 68th Avenue. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find the chart within the book that is picking up those particular principles of 68, okay? So please bear with me while I look for these particular principles within the archetype, because it was kind of surprising to me as well when I seen it. And I was just trying to provide these particular principles so that you can see them for yourself. I'm not going to spend a lot of time trying to find them if I cannot find them very, very soon or sporadically. And what I will do is I will move along just for the sake of time. And so along with that, it doesn't seem like that I could go right to that particular subject. So I will be moving right along. But principally, what it has revealed, or what it was revealing, were the principles pertaining to how that we have here, that pertaining to the ages and the dispensations, it reveals here within the publication of our founder that it shows how that we have a 6 here that is manifesting in the antediluvian age with Lucifer and Cain. Then we have another 6 in the post-diluvian age pertaining to Pharaoh and Judas. Then when we come here to the present age, we have pagan Rome, Nero, and papal Rome, Pope, okay, picking up the other principle of the 6 to show you and provide principles of 666, the 666 shown in the 3 ages, okay? So along with that, we have to understand that this is the number of the mark of the beast. Now, pertaining to Yahweh Elohim, his number is 8. So therefore, we will put a number 8 here, a number 8 here, and a number 8 here as a representation of the number of the Messiah, or the number of Elohim, which is 888. And then we have the number principle as the mark of the beast as 666 to show you how that when it's speaking of the principle of 68th Avenue, we're picking up those principles to provide to you based upon the principles on our ages and dispensations so that you can understand how both mysteries are manifesting themselves simultaneously throughout Yahweh Elohim's timetable. For the purpose is to reveal both mysteries, righteousness and unrighteousness manifesting throughout the ages and dispensations. So that brings us again right back here. And then to reveal to you, as we were talking about, pertaining to the principles, that when you look at the vision, that this is the manifestation of the 7th dispensation, which you see right here, 7 dispensation, kingdom, new earth, okay? The court without that had manifested 7 years after Pentecost, all right? And then revealed to the Gentile nation in AD 40, okay? Because we understand that Pentecost had happened June 6, 33 AD, all right? And this is the spiritual mountain, okay? based upon the principles that are happening and where we are in time, and based upon the location where this particular event had manifested. All right. And this reveals how that we are in Yahshua's kingdom. And Yahshua is manifesting here as the first fruits of those that resurrected, see, upon the top portion of this particular tree. See? So now it says that a fire rescue had responded about 4 p.m. 4 p.m. would place us within our fourth watch, pertaining to Yahweh Elohim's timetable, and it would put us within the first hour, pertaining to Yahweh's Elohim timetable. So it says that only the interior of the building was damaged and had no injuries were reported. Now, if you remember pertaining to the principles that we have shared with you, and what we will do is that we will go to the vision of our founder. And within this particular article, it spoke about the interior of the building. We shared with you pertaining to the principles on this particular vision, how that when you come to the vision of our founder, that when you have Moses manifesting himself upon Mount Sinai here, and he is looking at Elohim manifesting himself here, that Elohim is manifesting to Moses how he is the exterior of this threefold enchantable tabernacle pattern. As well, when we come over here to see John's panoramic vision of Elohim, it reveals how Yahshua is manifesting himself as the interior part of this particular pattern, or threefold enchantable tabernacle pattern, to reveal to you the principles pertaining to how this creation came in, pertaining to how that you see how Elohim is manifesting the exterior, or everything that you see on the outer. And then when you come here, pertaining to the things that's within the earth, okay, how Yahshua the Messiah is the interior part of the creation. To where when I shared and revealed to you pertaining to how the vegetation had grew, pertaining to how there was principles of earthquakes, how there's earthquakes, volcano eruptions, and things pertaining to the wind, that this is pertaining to the principles of what goes on within the interior part of this particular pattern, or the creation within itself. To reveal to you how Yahshua the Messiah is the creator of this particular creation by Yahweh Elohim the Father, which is the fiery cloud that manifests all the way around the edge of this particular chart. So as I come back and show you how Yahweh is spirit manifesting the cloud and symbolizing eternity and Jerusalem above, and revealing to the creation by the pattern, that when we come here and you see the external part of Elohim manifesting himself and changing himself into the creation, to reveal to you principles of how that this whole entire creation is no more than spirit materialized. So that you can understand pertaining to the things that are taking place within the earth plane, how that we have to come back, see, to the etymology, or the etymology of the whole entire subject matter, which is the word of Yahweh and how things were brought forth. So that you can understand that pertaining, if we come here to see how the creation came into existence, then we can see who is in control of the creation, okay? And to reveal to you that nothing is just by happenstance. Now, you can understand that pertaining to what it is talking about, that when we come to the vision where it says how that about 4 p.m., only the exterior of the building was damaged and no injuries were reported. Miami-Dade's fire rescue, Erica Benitez, told reporters Miami-Dade Mayor Daniela Levine Cava as well said that she responded to the scene and was briefed by the building inspectors. She reported that the Red Cross was assisting the evacuation families. It says Lavacala said that 7500 Northwest 68th Ave is a 3-story building and had passed the 40-year inspection and was approaching the 50th year mark. And that there was nothing in the recertification that indicated there was a problem. As of Thursday, 92 people were confirmed dead in the rubble of the Chaplain Towers South. Okay? Officials said that they have determined that 97 people in total were reported potentially missing. Investigators have not determined the cause of the collapse. So now within this particular article here, see, it goes back because what we're doing is that we have to come back and see the principles pertaining to what it is talking about. So when we go to the particular exterior, it is showing forth the principles of the outer, all right? And then this particular building, okay, pertaining to the principles that we see here with the World Trade Center, with the Millennial Towers, it's manifesting right here, okay? It is showing and providing the principles, how that it says that the exterior of this particular building, that the roof of it collapsed, okay? Now we see what's on top of this particular building, see? We see how it is a manifestation of this chaotic creature, okay, manifesting on the top part of this particular building, allowing, okay, principles of it to collapse and cave in. Now, principally, it says that that more than 30 residents were evacuated up out of the building. And as we came here to the vision and showed you principles of north, west, okay, which we come here, that we understand that Yahshua was 30 years old at the time that he started his ministry, before he came here to the river Jordan and was baptized by John the Baptist, okay? So this reveals how that Yahshua has started his ministry at the age of 30. Now it's showing you and revealing to you based upon the principles on this particular vision, how when it says northwest, all right, we come here. Now we showed you before that when we talk about southwest, that we come here, because it's going to pick up principles pertaining to Judas or the negative or this malefic satanic creature, all right, or the anti-Messiah, all right? So now here we are pertaining to the principles of northwest, and we're talking about Yahshua. Yahshua was 30 years old when he started his ministry, and he died at 33 when they put him up on the cross. So he had his ministry for 3 years, all right? Now you can see how all these things are testifying pertaining to the things of the Messiah. And then as well, it said that it passed its 40 years inspection. Now we understand that pertaining to after the Messiah, see, being the age of 30, was baptized by John, see, the Baptist, that he came out here within the wilderness for some odd 40 days, and he was tried or tested of the adversary, okay? And so therefore that brings us right here, because it's principally taking us to plate number 29, all right, where we have Yahshua manifesting himself right here within the holy place, okay, after his baptism, see, because he has to go out here within the wilderness of Judea to fulfill the principles pertaining to when the children of Israel were out here within the wilderness of Sinai for some odd 40 years, being tried and tested of the adversary. And we understand that pertaining to the principles that when we come here to the vision of our founder, that we see how that when the children of Israel came up out of the land of Egypt, and that they were out here for some odd 40 years. We go over that within our moderation. But to reveal to you the principles of how that we understand that Pharaoh and his hosts chasing the children of Israel to and through the divided waters of the Red Sea, how they were choked and died off within the Red Sea, and their bodies washed up upon the shores of the wilderness of sin. And so therefore the children of Israel had sung the song of happiness and glory unto Yahweh Elohim that was led by Mary. So now we see the principles pertaining to after the satanic spirits had disembodied Pharaoh and his host, that the invisible presence had came and plagued the children of Israel out here for some odd 40 years. Therefore, we see the principles of this golden calf that is manifesting to reveal the presence of the satanic spirit manifesting himself right here, see, in the wilderness of Sinai, which is principled as the holy place, which we have right here. So now what this does is that we come to the vision of our founder, and that brings us to two places, to reveal to you principles so that you can understand and see pertaining to the divine vision of our founder, Dr. Henry Clifford Kinley, how that all these principles must remain the same. The manifestation will change, but the principle will remain the same. So when we come here to the vision, let me zoom in. because I want you to be able to grasp these principles. That here is principled as the same chart that I just shared with you pertaining to the migration chart. This is principled as the children of Israel preparing themselves for the Passover, okay, that's getting ready to come to and through the divided waters of the Red Sea here. So therefore, we have the children of Israel manifesting themselves out here. Now, when we come to the transgression plate, see, which is right next to it, which is plate 14, and it is called the angelic transgression, how we see how that these are the satanic spirit or the satanic hosts that are principled here within the emerged in darkness, okay, until the day of judgment. Now here we see how in this particular compartment here that it is division between invisibility and visibility, to show you how that here in this particular apartment that after the satanic spirits had disembodied Pharaoh and they host, which you see them here, okay, because this is a manifestation of them being visible. So after they disembodied that here, their invisible presence had plagued the children of Israel here. And this is why we have here on the veils the division between invisibility and visibility. Because when they disembodied the Pharaoh and his host, their presence was invisible until we understand how that they had built the golden calf to allow them to understand how that presence of the satanic spirit is still manifesting itself right out here within the wilderness. Okay, so this is why we come here to show this, to authenticate the vision of our founder, to reveal to you how these principles will manifest, okay, all the way through out time based upon the principles that we showed you according to our ages and our dispensations chart. So now we see that here that the invisible presence had plagued Pharaoh, disembodied Pharaoh, and plagued the children of Israel. So now what we must do is we must bring it all the way down and show you how these principles, these same very principles, must remanifest themselves again. So here what we do is that we come back to the divine vision and revelation of our founder, and that brings us here to plate 29. To reveal to you that here, we reveal to you how that Yahshua, being 30 years old, was baptized, see, by John the Baptist. And then he came out here, and how you see right here, it says the controversy in the wilderness for 40 days. To provide a principle of 40, to reveal to you how that Yahshua the Messiah had to fulfill the principle of being in the wilderness for 40 years. Now, we shared with you earlier that Yahweh Elohim said a year for a day. So therefore, by Yahshua coming here for 40 days, it was fulfilling the principle of 40 years according to prophetic time. See? So this is to reveal to you the same principles as we revealed to you on the chart of the Ishi, how we have Yahshua here manifesting himself in purple. Why? Because purple is manifesting the promise. And then we have Lucifer manifesting himself in red garments. Why? Because we shared with you that pertaining to the principles that had manifested here in plate 6, see, A, that Yahweh Elohim has said, let there be light. And this was the judgment, see, to reveal how Yahweh Elohim had cast Satan and his host from his presence or out of heaven, never to return again. So when we come here and we look and we see how Satan has on these particular red garments that are manifesting right here, revealing how that he has already been judged. All right. And so therefore we see how it says temptation. So therefore we understand how he must try Yahshua the Messiah. So that brings us back here to show it to you in a little bit more bigger form. Okay, picking up the same principles, because here is revealing how that we have Satan, okay, this malefic creature, and then we have Yahshua manifesting himself right here within the holy place. All right, see, and then it's pertaining to how that this is plate 29, because we have Yahshua, we have Satan, okay, Yahshua is manifesting himself as the sanctum of sanctorum, or the high priest of high priests, and then we have old boy manifesting himself as the dragon, the serpent. See, Lucifer and his demons manifesting, see, the mystery iniquity, see, on earth throughout the dispensations of time. So therefore, as we're picking up these particular principles and showing you how that Yahshua, the Messiah, see, when we come here, being 30, him being baptized, we understand that Yahshua is the S-O-N and the S-U-N. So, and we understand that Yahshua is he is the roaring lion of the tribe of Judah. That's why he's principled here as the lion. See, and he is the son. All right. And so he was 30 years old being baptized. And then he was tried of the adversary for 40 years before the 3 years was up, and he was placed here and went through his death, his burial, his resurrection, his ascension, and the outpouring of his Holy Spirit, pertaining to the principles that we have revealed. And then it says pertaining to the 40 years, all right, we picked up that principle, that one of the principles of it going to be 50, that 50 is to us the number of Pentecost, of when Yahshua Messiah had poured out the Spirit in the hearts and minds of man. So that brings us right here, okay? And to reveal this to you, that this is Pentecost, okay? And pertaining to numerology, it is the principle of number 5 or 50, because we shared with you how that the 50-day journey to and through the divided waters of the Red Sea, that when the children of Israel had came to the plateau of this particular mountain, that Yahweh Elohim has spoke down unto the children of Israel, okay? Sorry, you couldn't see it. That Yahweh Elohim has spoke unto the children of Israel once they came to the plateau of this particular mountain. Okay? So that is to reveal the principles of 50. Okay? And then we understand that according to the Aaronite priesthood, that the priest could only preach or be a high priest only up until the age of 50. And after the age of 50, they could not no longer function as the high priest, pertaining to the laws of Moses, all right? We understand that the high priest started at the age of 30, and then he had ministered for some odd 20 years as the high priest, okay, pertaining to the Aaronite priesthood. So that's how that we gather these particular principles to show you how the revealing principles of Yahshua, the Messiah, okay? And this is how that we go into our ecologies to show forth that all these principles, see, are leading us to the Messiah. Now, our next ecology, it takes us to Oregon. And within Oregon, it says pertaining to the ecologies, how that is picking up principles of the bootleg fire. It says evacuations as one of the largest U.S. fires burns 300,000 acres. The bootleg fire already amongst the biggest in the state. Recent history is one of more than 80 major blazes raging across 11 Western states. Now here, we go to the vision. And we shared with you before pertaining to the principles of how that when we look at this particular volcano, that we shared with you that is principles pertaining to Yahshua Messiah as the inner organic earth, okay? This is the inner, that is the exterior, here's the interior, all right? And pertaining to this particular, how we shared with you that this is principle as a volcano, and we shared with you that pertaining to this particular volcano, which is a manifestation of Yahshua as the inner organic altar, which manifests the magma chambers in the liquid core of the earth, that we had a fire called the lava fire that manifested on June the 30th of 2021, okay? So therefore, pertaining to the lava fire, we understand that this being a volcano, how that this lava fire, see, had burned all the way around the edges of this particular chart as principle when Yahshua Messiah had gave up the ghost upon this particular cross. And we know that when he gave up the ghost here, that there was a big earthquake. You understand something that shook the whole entire earth to where the centurion said that truly, truly, he was the Son of God, or the Son of Yahweh, pertaining to the scriptures. So now here, when we reveal to you pertaining to the lava fire, how that the lava fire had burned all the way around this particular chart, at that particular time, it was one of the largest fires that was burning within California. So now pertaining to the principles pertaining to a bootleg, we come here to this particular satanic creature because we understand that he says that he wants to be like the Most High, all right? So that brings us right back here to show you that he is the bootleg. And then it's showing you that principally that he has burned over 300,000 acres is one of the biggest fires, okay, that's within Northern California today, okay, which is manifesting in Oregon, all right? And then pertaining to this particular ecology, it says that it was one more than 80 major blazes that's raging in Western state. So when we come here to the west, okay, that's principled as Yahweh Elohim manifesting himself as one of the banners, see, which we understand as the oxen, which is principled as the tribe of Manasseh. All right, so that brings us here, okay, because we understand that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. All right, so this is principle here pertaining to how that these fires are basically set. You understand what I'm saying? Because we see how the fires burn all the way around the edges of this particular chart. And now within the scriptures, it says that Yahweh our Elohim is a consuming fire. Okay, so now if you understand those principles pertaining to the words that's written within the scriptures, now we're seeing a Romans 1:19 and 20 to where all the physical things must manifest spiritual things. Okay, so now we're looking at the things that's pertaining to the spirit taking on a physical manifestation within the creation that's manifesting as this bootleg fire. Now this bootleg fire is burning all the way around the edges of this chart because it is revealing how all this everything that you're seeing that's burning within this fire is principled as this darkness or this chaosis, okay, which we understand to be plate 5A that had manifested within the vision of our founder. And we come here to reveal these particular principles here. Because what it's doing is revealing how Yahweh Elohim has declared the end straight from the beginning. So when we come here to the vision of our founder, Dr. Henry Suffolk Kinley, that we see right here pertaining to our chaosis plate that's manifesting right here, that we reveal to you how that pertaining to the angelic transgression allowed the heavens to become black, okay? Because 1/3, see, of the whole had manifested himself in unrighteousness. So when we come here and we see how Yahweh Elohim has said, let there be light, what he did was that he cast this bootleg, okay, which was Satan and his host out of heaven, never to return. So this is the reason why that we have this fire that's manifesting right here. And it says a division between light and darkness. So what I'm going to do is come and I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more so that you can see for yourself and understand the principles that we're talking about so that you can understand them on a larger scale. So now principally, if you're looking and you see how we have this here, then you come here to the vision being revealed. This is the same plate that's manifesting within the body of Yahweh Elohim manifesting himself as Adam. And what you're looking at pertaining to how you're seeing it manifest within the physical creation on the natural, that is the same operation that is manifesting within the first man. Okay, so now you got the first day of creation, and you got the first man. And the same principle that manifested within the first day of creation is manifesting within the man, showing you principally how that the man has the spirit of Yahweh Elohim. There was never no darkness within the man. You understand what I'm saying? And when you're seeing this light, it is showing you how that this darkness is already eradicated from the beginning. And then how the darkness is on the outside and not within the man. But pertaining to the satanic evil creature here, it is revealed pertaining to the spiritual emerging in wickedness, pertaining to the principles of Cain, of how that he surrendered unto Satan and Satan entered in, it filled his house with darkness. All right, so now we're showing you the same principles here pertaining to the principles that had manifested within the days of creation, pertaining to how the creation was within its chaos, showing forth how that the whole entire creation is subjected unto vanity, unwillingly, okay? So now when we go back and we pick up these principles pertaining to the scriptures, we can see how they are manifesting themselves. And so what we do is that we come and we look at the things pertaining to how they're pertaining to the ecology that is manifesting on a larger scale. So here, if this is pertaining to the first day of creation and Yahweh is removing this up out of the heavens, so therefore, when we come to the creation, it is revealing to you how they're pertaining to how the whole entire world was subjected unto vanity unwillingly. This is to reveal to you how that Yahweh Elohim is burning this bootleg fire up out of proportion to show you how this whole entire world is going to be consumed in fire pertaining to the confirmation of Yahshua the Messiah. So this is the reason why that pertaining to the ecologies and the things that are happening, see within the news, are the reality pertaining to the things that are getting ready to take place, okay, pertaining to Yahweh Elohim's purpose. Okay, now the whole creation came in by fire, so therefore it's going to go out by fire. So what we're doing is pertaining to the purpose of Yahweh, he is giving you a Romans 1:19 and 20 and a physical manifestation of what's getting ready to happen universally, but giving it to you on a small scale, but big enough so that your eyes can be able to see, okay, as a warning pertaining to the message that he gave you in Matthew, the 24th chapter. So therefore, when you see the isolation, desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, it says to stand within the holy place, okay? So this is the reason why that we come here and we show you these principles to show you how within the holy place you see the water, you see the garden, everything cool, and then you see light. And pertaining to the scriptures, it says that there was no need of the sun, okay? See, why? Because it says that Yahweh Elohim and his son is the light thereof, okay? Pertaining to the prophecy of what John said on the Isle of Patmos, to when Yahweh Elohim said, write this book and give it to the 7 churches of Asia. See? So that, let us continue. It says, the bootleg has been burning since July 6th. In neighboring Cana heat wave have also fueled hundreds of fires. Wildfires have raged more than 1 million acres in the US, mainly in Western states. Here we come back to Western, okay? Showing you, all right? So it has burned over a 1.1 million acres in the US pertaining to principles pertaining to the West. Why so? Because when we come here to the West, we see that it is set, all right? And pertaining to the principles, if you understand, it says that Yahweh or Yahshua the Messiah or Elohim, see, is a consuming fire. So therefore, when we come here as principles and we reveal to you how that we have this cloud going all the way around the edges of this chart to show you how everything within the cloud is manifesting within the cloud, okay? To reveal to you that everything abides within the pure spirit state of Yahweh. Now, this fiery cloud that goes all the way around the edges of this particular chart is showing you and revealing to you how the whole creation abides within Yahweh or eternity. That is the principle of this orange fiery cloud going all the way around the edges of this chart, to show you how all of us is already depending on who you are. Now, if you are manifesting principles of evilness or iniquity, and you are within you're bounded within this darkness, okay? Or you are manifesting iniquity, or you one of these demonic spirits, it's showing that you're already within the lake, okay? And us, okay, pertaining to the sons of Elohim, see, it's showing and revealing to you how that fire don't burn fire. So therefore, we're within the ark of safety, who is fire. The fire pertaining to the fire that's manifesting as the Father. See, Yahshua said that I and my Father are one. You understand what I'm saying? See? And he also made a prayer and said, Father, make them one as we are one. So therefore, anybody that's within the body of Yahshua the Messiah, see, is a manifestation, how it says over there in Hebrews, the 1st chapter, how that he makes his ministers flames of fire. So therefore, if his ministers are flames of fire, you understand what I'm saying, which are the sons of Elohim, as I said, fire does not burn fire. See? And I think that those principles are just beautiful. So here, as we continue, it says that according to the National Inter-Agency Fire Center, it says as of Monday morning, the destructive inferno had burned more than 303,000 acres, okay? 303. Now that takes us right back to Yahshua Messiah, because I told you that he, after being 30 years old and being baptized by John the Baptist, okay, allowed him to be 30 years old, that he only had 3 years of his ministry. And after 3 years of his ministry, that allowed Yahshua to be 33 years old when they placed him upon this cross when he given up the ghost. So therefore, it's going back showing you pertaining to these principles of how that when he gave up the ghost, the whole entire creation, you know what I'm saying, became on fire, because that was the end. And then he returned back into his Father. You understand what I'm saying? So therefore, all the things that you see within this darkness, okay, is on fire, manifesting right now. But see, we cannot understand the physical effect of it based upon the things that happen within the spirit, because of the prophecy that Yahweh Elohim had given unto John pertaining to the Gentiles in this court without, to measure it, okay, not, because it is given unto the Gentiles, all right? And that's us. We are the Gentiles because we are not Jews. We are not Hebrews, okay? We are not Black Israelites. You understand what I'm saying? And you cannot take anybody that is a Gentile and place them onto the Jewish or Hebrew nation. You understand what I'm saying? Because you have to understand that the Hebrew nation did not intermix with no other tribe or no other nation. Okay? It's not like the manifestation of the Jews of which we have now, that marry whoever they want to marry, that is up under the children of Israel, okay? Because now the Jews that are over there, see, in Israel, see, they can marry whoever they want to marry pertaining to anyone within any tribe. But see, that was not so pertaining to when Yahweh Elohim had brought them up out of the land of Egypt, okay? See, out here within the wilderness for some odd 40 years, because every tribe had to marry within their tribe. Judah could not marry the tribe of Simon. Manasseh could not marry nobody that was within Asher. You understand what I'm saying? Because if they had have done that, then they would not have been able to receive their inheritance after they had went on their 40-year conquest after they came over here within the land of Canaan. See? So they had to keep their blood royal. You understand? So therefore, we already understand that pertaining to the scriptures that the Hebrews could not intermix amongst the Gentile nations, even though we understand that they did take wives of the nations, but Yahweh punished them for that. And they had to give them wives up too. You understand what I'm saying? And go back and marry those within their own respective tribes. Now we can go within the scriptures and find these particular things. But to reveal to you how that now, just because you have darkened your skin and you have come into the knowledge that Yahweh Elohim had given his decree unto the Hebrew people, there is no way that you can claim yourself to be a Black Israelite, okay, being a Gentile, because you cannot authenticate your bloodline back into the Yahudite people or the tribe of Judah. You understand what I'm saying? I would like to see you do it. And I have not seen nobody do it yet, okay? Now, this is pertaining to my brothers who are Black Israelites. I don't have nothing against you, but you need to get your facts straight according to the scriptures, because what you're doing is very dangerous, promoting something and promoting lies to the masses of the people, having them thinking that there's something that they're not. The only way that you can be a part of the body or be related unto the Hebrew nation is that we are engrafted in, okay? As the wild olive branch. Now, those are the scriptures. And you have to understand that the scriptures cannot be broken. You understand what I'm saying? And the only thing that makes us a Yahudah is us receiving the spirit of Yahshua, the Messiah, within our heart, within our mind. According to what it says over there within the scriptures, that he is not a Jew, one outwardly, that's within the flesh, but he is a Hebrew, which is one inwardly, that is of the spirit, pertaining to how Yahshua had poured out his spirit within the hearts and minds of man. So do your research, read the whole book. Don't stay in one part of the book. Read the whole entire book. And you have to understand that Yahshua the Messiah is the fulfillment of the law to all those who believe. And if you don't believe, hey, so be it. But like I said, the scripture said that you can't take away or add to. You understand what I'm saying? And so therefore, you can't respect one part of the book and not the whole entire book, because as it says that we are up under the foundation of the apostles and the prophets. You understand what I'm saying? The Mosaic law does not apply to us. Okay? Why? Because Yahshua the Messiah has fulfilled the law to those that believe. Now here, it says that the 300,003 acres approaching the size of Los Angeles and is 25% contained. Over 2,100 firefighters are currently battling the fire. Weather, okay, really against us, is going to be hot. It's going to be dry. And air is going to be unstable, which helps the heat rise faster, says Chief John Flanagan. It says more than 4,000 blazes have been recorded in 2021. So far, compared to last year, okay, in Canada, more than 150 new fires started burning throughout the country during this past week alone. Scientists believe that the climate change is likely to increase the chances of weather conditions that fuels the wildfires, okay? So now we have scientists sitting up saying that based upon the weather conditions and things of that particular nature is increasing the fuel of the fire. Now, Fire Chief Flanagan is letting everyone know that pertaining to the things that are against them, he says that the air, He says that the air is against us. He says the hot is against us. And then you have, what the stuff that's within the land, okay, pertaining to the vegetation. You understand what I'm saying? And those high those Sandhana winds that's blowing is not allowing them to be able to get a full handle or containment on this particular fire. See, but one thing I would like to say, I commend the firefighters, see, that's out there fighting. See, and there's a lot of them out there. I pray that Yahweh be with them, and that no one gets hurt. See, and no lives is lost pertaining to the firefighters. I really, really commend them doing the things that they do for us. Okay. So now our third ecology, see, takes us. Now, this one is global. All right. Talking about the whole entire world. So therefore, what happens is that when it's saying that it's something that's global, let us do this. Come to the vision here. Okay. And that takes us right here. Right? Set global. So therefore, we come here to show you the whole entire world. All right. Now here we showed you pertaining to the whole entire world that is principle pertaining to the principles of King Solomon's temple. Because pertaining to the things that of King Solomon's temple, it goes back and shows you all the days of creation and everything pertaining to the 7 days of creation that we showed you within the cloud are principle pertaining to the things that's within and without this particular threefold temple here. All right. And so therefore we come here and we're showing you how that this is the whole world because these particular principles are global. All right. So now let's read and see what this particular ecology has to offer. It says that global shares slide and COVID economic recovery fears stock market across the UK. Europe and the US dropped sharply on Monday and fears that rising numbers of COVID cases will hamper economic recovery. Wow. So now, the reason why that I say here is because when we come here to the pattern, all right, which is based upon the things that we talk about within this particular pamphlet here, okay? And that brings us to all the ologies. When we come here, all right here, all the ologies that you see all the way around this particular tabernacle are the same principles of when we come here to the tabernacle pattern here with all the ologies that are manifesting right here, all right? So now it is talking about, principles pertaining to our economy, all right? So that picks up politics, okay? It's going back, it's picking up history. And then it's also allowing us, when it's talking about politics, okay, that I do believe that one of our ologies is, thought it was economics, but I do stand to be corrected, okay? But at the same time, when it is talking about politics, see, which is one of the ologies that we have right here on pertaining to our ologies, okay, and then theology, okay, pertaining to philosophy, that's pretty much what we're getting pertaining to what they're talking about according to this particular ecology. Now, they say that they having fears, okay, based upon the economical recovery, based upon the cases of COVID that's manifesting within the world, because I told you that COVID is affecting the whole entire world, and Yahweh Elohim have shut down the whole entire world to get everyone's attention based upon the things that are going on. I shared with you that the COVID virus, okay, is Yahweh Elohim, Yahshua, taking his vengeance, see, and his wrath against the synagogues of Satan and all those that had lived deliciously, see, with the harlot and drunk of the wine of her fornication. All right. So now we understand that UK is guilty, the US is guilty, the whole entire world is guilty before the Father. Okay? Because the whole entire world have sinned. That's the reason why that when you look behind me and we pick up all of the nations pertaining to Babylon, Media, Persia, Greece, okay, and pagan and papal world, that picks up the whole entire world, all right, pertaining to that great image, all right, which is, let us go to the vision of our founder so that we can show you this great image that was pertaining to the dream of Nebuchadnezzar. See, when he punished the seers, the wise men, the sorcerers, the astrologers, and all of them that was supposed to be able to decipher dreams and couldn't, see? And then you had to go get a man of Elohim, see, because when it happened in Egypt, we had to go get Joseph, all right? And then when we went to Babylon, we had to go get Daniel, see? So that brings us right here to reveal to you, pertaining to the things that we're talking about, brings us right here to our history plate 26, all right? And this is the great image right here. And then it shows you right here pertaining to when Yahweh Elohim has sent the children of Israel within the servitude, 70 years based upon their disobedience, like how we go over within the moderation, all right? So now we see right here to where we have all the nations manifesting right here. This is global. It's going right back here, all right? Now what this is doing is it's going back and it's picking up the principles pertaining to the things that John has said pertaining to what was talked about over there. And I do believe that might be, and I stand to be corrected, Revelation, the 18th chapter. And what we can do is, just for the sake of understanding the time, we can go there. Because see, one thing about it is that we are a scientific research organization dedicated to prove the existence of Yahweh, our Elohim, as he really is and actually exists. Now let's go over to the scriptures to see that if I can grasp the continuity of thought pertaining to the things that were written in the scriptures, to provide you witnesses of the things that are taking place. Now it says that here, I'm in Revelation 18th chapter, and it says that, let's start, I'll start at number 1. It says, after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried with a mighty strong voice, saying, Babylon, the great is fallen, and become the habitation of demons, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean, hateful bird. For all nations, see, all nations. See, I didn't say that. So that you might as well put the UK, the US, and any other nation that there is. It says all nations, did not exclude one, not even Israel. Do you understand? For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacy. So all these nations, I'm gonna put it like this. Let's go to G7, okay? It says all of the nations, it says G7 is the 7th most wealthiest nations that is over us right now because of the principles pertaining to the World Trade Center. So now we only got the G7s, all right? So now it's even talking about them. And it says that all of them had waxed rich through her delicacies, all right? So now it says that they are the ones that have all the money within the world, all right? So it says that all nations have drunken of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, that the ones who are rich in abundance now pertaining to the G7, you know, this is who they talking to, as well as every other nation within the world. You understand what I'm saying? He says, I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, okay? That ye be not partakers of her sin, that ye receive not of her plagues. So it's letting you know that pertaining to all the nations, that Yahweh people is amongst all the nations that's out there. Yahweh is asking you now to come up out of her, all right? In other words, it's asking for you to separate yourself based upon the things and the sins that was committed by all, I'm just gonna say like this, the religious heads, okay? Who are rich pertaining to the things that they have, all right? So it says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh have remembered her iniquities. Now, Yahweh says here on verse 6, it says, reward her even as she has rewarded you. All right. So all the evil things that she have done unto you, Yahweh is claiming vengeance on them and says, reward it back to her. And it says, and double unto her, double according to her works. So not only did he double it, he doubled it again. All right. So that makes it threefold as worse upon them that have done you wrong. All right. So all Yahweh's people amongst all the nations, no matter where you are in the world, praise ye Yahweh. Okay. Come up out of her. All right. For Yahweh Elohim will deliver you. Okay. So therefore, it says, how much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she hath said in her heart, I will sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine. Now, right there, pertaining to the things that's going on within the world, see, we have been talking about deaths, people mourning for their loved ones, okay? We give you example pertaining to what happened over there in Canada, July 1st, okay, about the indigenous children. We go over there to the deaths that had happened in the Chaplain Towers, picking up those principles, and then pertaining to the people who have passed away within the heat wave that has been going all over the world, all right? And then it's talking about famines, okay? How we reveal to you over there that's going on in Ethiopia and Tigray that there's a man-made famine, and how that there's individuals over there that's not allowing the farmers to be able to plant seed and things of that particular nature. All these things are manifesting right now. And then it says, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. And so now we hear how the whole entire US, okay, right now, how there's fires all over the world, all right? We got a 300,000 acre fire burning. It says that the fire is burning bigger than the state of New York and Los Angeles City, okay? And if you look at the acreage pertaining to how big New York is, and we got fires burning out here in California that big, and over there in Canada, okay, come on now. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to be able to see these principles that are manifesting within the scriptures that are being talked about right now. And then it says the kings of the earth, have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her, and shall bewail her and lament her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. So you think that people are not crying now? Okay. It says that over 100 structures have been damaged or burned within these fires. How many people that's over there in Oregon and over there in Canada that's losing their homes, okay, pertaining to the things that are happening, as well as those over there in London pertaining to how there's a flood manifesting over there in the summertime. Did you hear me? It says a unseasonal. When I read that in college, it says an unseasonal rain. And these things are manifesting, and you can't see how the prophecy within this book is coming to pass right now, pertaining to what we talked about over there in Matthew, the 24th chapter. And now we over here in Revelations, the 18th chapter, and I'm picking up the same things pertaining to the witnesses as I was sitting up talking about, how that we got to come here to the scriptures, all right? We got to listen to what the prophets and the apostles is talking about based upon the fulfillment of how Yahshua fulfilled the law. And they got the spirit of Yahshua in them prophesizing of these things within the book of Revelations, and they coming to pass right now. And Revelations mean to reveal. Let me proceed. He who has eyes to see, let him see. It says, standing afar off, fear of her torment, alas, alas, the great city Babylon, the mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Now, if you understand the principles of 1 hour, it is a principle of 40.1, okay? So therefore, we understand that 40 years, okay, is principled as 1 hour in prophetic time. So when we hear 40 years or the principle or anything pertaining to 40, it's talking about 1 hour, okay? Spiritually and psychologically, so according to Yahweh Elohim's timetable. And then it says the merchants of gold and silver and precious stones, of pearls and fine linen, and purple and silk and scarlet, all thine wood, and all manner of vessels of ivory, and all manner of vessels of most precious wood, and of brass, and of iron, and of marble, and cinnamon, and odorous, and ointments, and frankincense, and wine, and oil, and flour, and wheat, and beasts, and sheep, and horses, and chariots, and slaves, and souls of men, and the fruits that thy soul lusteth after are departed from thee. Now, wow, I'm going to keep reading. All these things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. The merchants of these things, which were made rich by her, shall stand afar off, for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, Alas, alas, the great city, that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. And every shipmaster, and all the companies in ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood far off. Now we just shared with you pertaining to the Suez Canal, how Suez Canal was blocked off. That ship had all the commodities that we just read, and it didn't allow them to be able to receive it for weeks because that particular ship was stuck. Okay? All these things, he who got eyes to see, let him see how the manifestation would change, but the principle will remain the same. We're trying to show you how prophecy is manifesting right now in our time. This was John who wrote this in AD 96. And these things are coming to pass right now today, over 2,000 years, okay, based upon when this prophecy was written. And they're still manifesting. Why? Because the manifestation has changed, the principle will remain the same. All right? And Yahweh Elohim's word will not return unto him void. So all you people that's within the nation that are Yahweh's people, come up out of her. All right? Come to the knowledge of the truth. There is no Elohim, there is no God, there is no creator of heaven and earth besides Yahweh, Elohim, Yahshua. There is no other God, there is no other deity, okay? Everything else besides that is a false deity, okay? And what that is idolatry. Let me continue. It says, and the voice of harps and musicians and of pipers and trumpets shall be heard no more at all in thee. And no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee. And the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. And the light of the candle shall shine no more at all in thee. And the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For the merchants were the great men of the earth. For by the sorceries which all nations deceived, and in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all that were slain upon the earth. So therefore, all the sons of Yahweh and that was slain, you understand what I'm saying? That she have drunk of the wine, and what was found in her was the blood of all the prophets of who Yahweh Elohim has sent unto the world to give them warning so that the people could repent. You understand what I'm saying? So this is the reason why that I read this, because this is at hand right now. This is what's going on. So this is the reason why that I came back here to pick this up to reveal to you pertaining to the things that we are talking about so that you can be able to see them clearly. So it won't be no mistake or misunderstanding pertaining to the things that are going on within the news and the things that's within the scripture, so you can see the etymology of where it all derived from. See, we're going back to the ontological state of perfection of a book that was written over 2,000 years ago, still telling the truth, because Yahweh lies not. Now, you got these people, see, telling you how that their fears pertaining to the economical rising is going to hamper their recovery. It says London's FTSE 100 fell 26% to below the 7,000 level, led by broadcasters. It says ITV and British Airway owners, IAG, in New York, the Dow Jones industry averaged tumbling by more than 2%, while major shares in France and Germany also fell. Did you hear that? This is the stock market showing you how everything's falling, how all these countries, it says that how all nations, okay, had lived deliciously and waxed rich. Now here is sharing and revealing to you how all their riches is falling right here. This is news. Look at the stock market, okay? It's telling you all those nations that it's talking about, it's telling you. We got France, we got Germany, we got the UK, we got the United States, we got New York, okay? We got British, we got Britain, we got London, we got Europe, we got the UK, we got the United States. It says global. It says all nations of the earth has waxed rich through her. And now it's showing you how all nations is falling. When it says that no more light shall be light lit in thee, when all those things said it's going to be taken away, that you ain't going to hear no more merchants, no more marriages, no more nothing at all in thee. When you look at this chart that's behind me, you don't see no lights or nothing going on. We went over this many and many times, and we're going to show it to you again, how when we come here to this vision, okay, that we're going to show you how when you look, okay, all the way from the head of Babylon, all the way through, you don't see no lights. You don't see how nothing is manifesting within there. See, that's that body that I told you. See, that we revealed to you that's on plate 26 of the founder, that there ain't no light within none of these nations. These nations are falling. And COVID-19 is one of the main reasons that kicked off the seventh age and the fifth, the seventh dispensation in the fifth age. And we're revealing to you how all these particular plagues pertaining to the prophecy that's over there in Revelation, the 18th chapter, is manifesting right now. And then picking up the principles pertaining to the things that had happened over there, see, in Matthew, the 24th chapter. So now all these things is manifesting from beginning to end, all the way across. And then we come here and we showed you pertaining to how that we got coronavirus and added the 33 years of Yahshua the Messiah, and it picks up 603 the number of the mark of the beast, coming right here. And we're going to show it to you again to show you that this was the beginning, see, right here, of the seventh age. I'm sorry, the seventh dispensation and fifth age, to let you know where we are in time and to let you know who's doing the things pertaining to everything that's manifesting within the earth plane. So that you don't sit up and say, oh, what's going on? We don't understand what's going on, where we at in time. See, no, Yahweh Elohim is taking away that excuse. Yahshua the Messiah is taking away that excuse. It says major shares in France and Germany also fell. However, new cases are continuing to rise in some countries, fueled by the Delta variant of the virus. So now we are in the Delta now, okay? We're in the third stage of this particular virus, and this Delta variant is the worst of all, because I said this third wave ain't gonna be no joke. It says, meanwhile, optimism, which had been on the horizon just a few weeks ago, has again been obscured by a dark cloud, especially with the snap decision to enforce a 10-day quarantine for arrival from France, with some scientists warning that infections could reach 200,000 a day by September. This is now a feeling that the UK could be starting at a fresh autumn lockdown. Did you hear that? So this autumn, they're gonna do a lockdown this winter because the virus is fitting to go crazy rapidly. We already revealed to you how there's 3,000 new cases of the virus that's manifesting in Los Angeles, California. If it's 3,000 new cases, we're in the Delta variant of it. And it's already telling you how that when we went over the principles pertaining to the body, how it is manifesting things pertaining to the kidneys and the lungs of what it's talking about within that particular pattern, how it is showing you how it's a manifestation of that satanic spirit, okay? Manifesting within house that's trying to tear up the house of Yahweh, because man is made in the image and likeness of Yahweh Elohim, or God. We are made in the image and likeness of God. So if any man is doing anything evil to you, then he's doing it to God, because you're made in the image and likeness of him, okay? It says as well that 200,000 people a day okay, it's estimated based upon this infection that reaches up to September. There is now a feeling that, it says that the pound has also fell against the dollar, dropping 0.45% to 1,371. Okay. So that means that our dollar, okay, has dropped 45%. Now, what's 45% of a dollar? That means that our dollar is only worth 55 cents. And it says that the pound, okay, and we're talking about the euro, I guess you understand what I'm saying, because like I asked questions before, that London still deals in pounds. All right. Now we're talking about money. Now their money is losing value. All right. And we're just trying to reveal to you how the prophecy within the scriptures is coming to pass. It says that despite rising vaccination rates, a return to pre-COVID normality seems questionable. It says US President Joe Biden urges Americans to get vaccinated in order to ensure the economy can remain open. Because if not, and everybody died, they're going to have to close the economy. You understand what I'm saying? So really, truthfully, the orchestrator of this particular disease didn't really think it all the way through. They wanted to thin out the whole entire race. You understand what I'm saying? All the way around the world. But now you understand what I'm saying, that because we're in this Delta variant, you understand what I'm saying, that the virus is out of control. It has mutated. You understand? See, that's why, when you be looking at Night of the Living Dead and you got them people that has the virus and they walking around dead, you understand what I'm saying? That's exactly what's happening now. We're the Night of the Living Dead. You understand what I'm saying? We're those zombies that's within the movies that's running around trying to bite the next person and give them the virus. And it's the same type of principle. Now, in the movie, the zombies bite another person and allow them to turn into a zombie. But here, this is an airborne disease to where if somebody cough or sneeze and then you happen to inhale, you understand what I'm saying? Those fine particles, you understand what I'm saying? And they are infected with the virus, then you contract it. Now, it's sharing with you that if it says that in the Night of the Living Dead, they're walking dead. That's the principle of people that have the COVID virus and the people that's dying pertaining to the virus. You understand what I'm saying? That they no more walking dead. They're walking dead up until that certain amount of time and the virus takes them out. It's just no more to show you how that the truth of what's going on now is already put in the movies. You understand what I'm saying? It's the manifestation changed, but the principle remains the same. So that's where we are, okay, pertaining to that last ecology, which is with our third ecology, pertaining to the things of the world that's going on right now. Now, our fourth ecology geographically takes us to Africa. Now, based upon the things that I had just read to you, that was within Revelations, the 18th chapter, that when I read this particular ecology, you will see that everything that I'm reading right now is everything that I had just read. It's just a remanifestation of it. You know what I mean? So, I'm going to sadly read this, and it's pertaining to my people. It says Nigeria's security crisis, 5 different threats. Nigeria is faced with an preceded wave of different but overlapping security crises, from kidnapping to extremist insurgencies. Almost every cover of the country has been hit by violence and crime. When President Muhammadu Buhari was elected in 2015, he promised to protect the citizens from terrorists and criminals. But there is less than 2 years left of his final term in office, and the country is diminishing and unstable than it's been in decades. With every attack, human lives are lost or permanently damaged, and faith in democracy, the country is diminishing. So they don't have no faith in democracy, okay? Now, we shouldn't have shared with you pertaining to the things that we just said. It says human lives are lost. We got people that are, it says the crime and violence is just off the hook. It says that with every attack, um, it says that one of the crises that they are suffering from is uh, jihadism. It says Islam is a Islamist militant group, Boko Haram, is expanding into new areas, taking advantage of Nigeria's property and other security challenges to fuel its extremist ideologies. According to the UN, by the end of 2020, conflict with the group had led to the deaths of almost 350,000 people and forced millions from their homes. Boko Haram launched deadly raids, in some cases hoisting its flag and imposing extremist rule on local people. It's levied taxes on farms and the sale of agricultural products. The once booming international fish market in the Chad Basin is now completely controlled by the group. It says Nigeria's ungoverned spaces areas that are remotely a large and largely ignored where groups can torment rural communities without fear of reprisal. So now we got these jihadism people over here, which is an Islamist militant group. They have taken over all the places to where it says that's ungoverned by the Nigerian army, our military. So they're going over killing people. They imposing taxes. They are raiding houses. They are raiding farms. They taking all the agricultural products. Okay, they took all the fish. Okay, and they have killed over 350,000 people. Okay, and have nobody been able to stop them. And so therefore the people are upset based upon what Muhammad Buhari has stated, because he's not getting the financial help to be able to do what he promised to the people. And every time he organized a group, it says that, you know what I'm saying, they just knock it down. Let me continue to read. Now, that's what's going on in some parts. Now, another thing that's happening, it says that there's clashes between herdsmen, and farmers. It says they have been violent disputes, nomadic animals, herds, and farmers in Nigeria for many years. It says disagree over the use of the land and water, as well as grazing routes have been exacerbated by climate changes and the spread of the Sahara Desert. As herders move further south looking for pasture, thousands have been killed in clashes over limited resources. So now let us go to the chart. Let us look. We said that we got to be able to go grasp these principles and come to see if what they're talking about. Now here it's talking about the principles of South. Okay, that brings us right back here. See. Now when it's talking about South, it says how the resources over there, how that the jihadism, or it says that the Islamic militant group, you understand what I'm saying, that's taking all the natural resources. Here we got a tree right over here, and it's showing forth how this particular man, you understand what I'm saying, with all this money, you understand what I'm saying, that he was the treasurer. And it says that the love of money is the root of all evil. So just like how we got all these sons of Belial on the tree of death, which are the sons of the devil, you understand what I'm saying, to where all that they wanted to do was they looked at greed, you understand what I'm saying, money, any agricultural resources or whatever, you understand what I'm saying, that they have taken control over that. So now when we come here to South, it's showing and it's revealing to you how that is pertaining to this evil, malefic creature, pertaining to the things, you understand what I'm saying, that he is manifesting within man to do to these innocent people that's over there. You understand what I'm saying? You got people starving over there, all right? Now it's talking about pertaining to the animals, all right? So now when we come here, all right, we're looking how we got this oxen, all right? Now, when you look on the outside of this particular chart, it is showing and revealing pertaining to when we are in the fifth day of creation, when Yahweh Elohim, the fifth and sixth day of creation, when Yahweh Elohim was creating the animals, okay, and the beasts of the field, all right, the fish within the sea, things of that particular nature. So therefore, it comes right back here, and we're picking up these particular principles because now we're seeing, based upon all the agricultural resources, the animals, the fish, and everything that's pertaining to the things that had manifested. And when we come here to the vision, see, it shows you how all these animals came into the fish, okay? The trees, all right? How that all these particular things are now up under control of a man. You understand what I'm saying? And he is limiting the resources to all the other people so that they can be able to eat and live freely upon the land. You understand what I'm saying? See? And so therefore is revealing how that this is a man-made family, how that you have people that's up under power, okay? Going back to what went on here. See? And the reason why it's taking us right back here to south is because the principles of what happened with Cain and Abel. That's the reason why we got place 16 here, and we got conscious emerging in wickedness, all right? That the individuals is conscious of the wickedness that they are doing. Now here, pertaining to Yahweh Elohim's purpose, Yahweh Elohim had told Cain, go ask thy brother, see, for a sacrifice. Because what he did was, Cain was a farmer. And he brought fruits unto Yahweh to where Yahweh required blood. Okay, and we understand that Abel, see, he tended to sheep. So now it says how that the herders, okay, and the farmers are not getting along, that there's a war. Why? Because the war had originated here between two twin brothers that had manifested within the beginning of time pertaining to the principles of Cain and Abel. One was a farmer and one was a herdsman. And the farmer did what? Killed the herdsman. Okay, so now we're sitting there talking about how there's wars, you understand what I'm saying, between them because number one, the herdsman doesn't have nowhere to graze, okay, because the farmer, you understand, doesn't want them to come graze because they're trying to control the water and things of that particular nature. So it takes us all the way back to the beginning or to the origin of time based upon the things that Moses wrote, okay, the first 5 books of the Bible that God revealed to him when he was upon the mountain. So now all these things, what? Remanifested himself again. You understand what I'm saying? Based upon the principles that had manifested here. So what do? We come here to the vision of our founder. You understand what I'm saying? Why? Because the principles manifested here first. We understand had Noah drunk of his wine, what did he do? He planted a vineyard. You understand that he let all the animals up out of the ark. Oh, I'm talking about we can go on and on and on. Okay? Like I said, the manifestation has changed, but the principle will remain the same. And I'm telling you like this, the scripture is going to reveal how things are going to overturn and overturn and overturn, whether you like them or not. See? And so all I'm doing is basically just revealing to you the principles, okay, of the things that have already manifested within the scriptures. I'm just going back in time to sit up and show them to you in modern day time. That's all I'm doing. See? So now that brings us right back here, see, to the antediluvian age, the apostasy right here manifesting, see, with Cain and Abel, all right? And what did he do? See, Cain did what? He went and built a city and named it after his son, after he then took all the riches of the land. You understand what I'm saying? See? And so what did he do? See? Right here, it's showing you how it's a conscious emerging in wickedness, just like how we showed you on the Ishi. And then here is Cain slowing his brother. Here go the herder of the sheep right here. What did he do? He brought fruits of the land, okay? So now that's revealing to you right here on this plate right here, the herdsmen and the farmers and their war right here, okay? And then how did he left, okay, and went to the land of Nod, which was east. And so now it's showing and revealing now, instead of going east, they're going south. You understand what I'm saying? See, why? Because we understand that pertaining to the south, that in the wintertime, that all the animals do what goes south because of the vegetation, and that is not as cold headed towards south as it is up north pertaining to the seasons when they change. All right? And we look at all the principles right here because right here is the form of vegetation because we understand that Adam was in the garden to till, okay, to make sure that the garden was nurtured, okay? It wasn't nothing to be done because the garden was in fruition. So it reveals how Adam, the father of all living, was a farmer. You understand what I'm saying? See? So we pick up these principles. And then here we see how that malefic creature, you understand what I'm saying, that had allowed them pertaining to his disobedience for it to manifest within the earth plane. You understand what I'm saying? So now we see how everything is constantly repeating itself. You see what I'm saying? How everything is overturning and overturning pertaining to the scripture. He who has eyes to see, Let him see. Showing you right here. And when you see how you have this conscious emergent in wickedness, and we have 666 right over here entering into him, this is to show you how this particular body right here was filled, see, with all the darkness. See, filled with darkness. That darkness right here, filled with all this darkness right here, manifested within him. You understand what I'm saying? See? Okay. Now let us finish summing up our ecologies. Oh boy. It says, let us go on to one of the other crises that's manifesting over there in Nigeria. It says that banditry and kidnapping, one of the scariest threats for families in Nigeria, is the frequent, kidnapping of school children from their classrooms in border houses. It says more than 1,000 students have been abducted from their school since December 2020. Many only released after thousands of dollars are paid as ransom. Some of the kidnappings are commonly referred to as bandits in Nigeria. These criminals raid villages, kidnap civilians, and burn down houses. The Northwest is the epicenter of these attacks. Northwest, huh? So let us go to Northwest. So when we come back here to Northwest here on the chart, we got to understand these principles. It says, when we come to Northwest, right here, coming back to principles pertaining to Yahshua Messiah, pertaining to the children. We shared with you how this demon, okay, Yahweh Elohim said that he was a murderer from the beginning. You understand what I'm saying? Now, pertaining to the principles of Yahshua Messiah, we understand that the children, when the three wise men came and seen Yahshua's star within the sky, you understand that when Herod felt, the king felt that he was mocked, that he sent out his men to slay all the children ages 2, okay, and under. You understand what I'm saying? Trying to find a Messiah because he was a threat, because he was born king of the Yahudah, and the king wanted to kill the future king because he wanted to remain a king, and Yahshua was a threat to him. So he sent out, the demons sent out those to sit up and slay all the children trying to kill him. Just like how when we go over here pertaining to the principles pertaining to Moses, how there's a death decree out when Moses was being born, how they killed all the children. You understand what I'm saying? How Pharaoh had told the two midwives of Yahweh Elohim, see, he said that if it be a male child, kill it. But if it be a woman child, let it remain alive. You understand? See, so therefore that same death decree, see, is manifesting again, but see, the manifestation of it is different. So here, they're killing kids too, but here it says that they're kidnapping kids and charging a ransom. So look, we come back here pertaining to the money principle because they want a ransom for all the kids after they take them. You understand what I'm saying? From their parents. You understand? See, it's picking up the same principle. And I shared with you the manifestation of change, but the principle will remain the same. It says that in Zamfara state alone, over 3,000 people have been killed. See, I didn't even get there yet. Since 2012, and attacks are still going on, and hundreds of schools were closed following the abductions at school in Zamfara and Nigeria state, where children as young as 3 years old, there go the time, there go the age. Now, when it was Yahshua, it was 2 years old and younger. Okay, same with Moses. All right. So now it's saying that these kids are young as 3 years old. Okay, and have been abducted from their families. It says as young as 3 years old were seized. It says Nigeria's lucrative kidnapping industry is thriving, expanding into previous safe areas and seemingly beyond control of the country's army. It poses a real threat in the trade of education as well as the country's farming commodities. And it says over 30 million schemes have failed to stop these abductions. So it says that over 30 million schemes. That means that the presidency, all the agencies over there, had 30 million schemes to try to stop these abductions, and none of them worked. 30 million? 30 million ideas and all of them failed? What does that tell you? Okay. So now let us go to our fifth ecology. And it takes us back out this way to Yellowstone. It says Yellowstone rattled by a swarm of more than 140 earthquakes. In past day, geologists say Friday that an ongoing earthquake swarm that began at 5:52 p.m. Thursday is centered beneath Yellowstone Lake. There have been 40 earthquakes bigger than a multitude of two, and two have been above a 3.0 in magnitude in the past day. There have been 10 earthquakes with a 2.5 magnitude or greater. The largest was a 3.1 magnitude that shook beneath Yellowstone Lake at 8:12 a.m. Mountain Time. Now, what I want to do is to stop right there. Now, it says that an earthquake had took place over in Yellowstone. Now, we share with you pertaining to the principles of an earthquake, that when an earthquake manifests, that it is picking up the principles pertaining to Yahshua Messiah, okay, because he is the interior, all right? Now, within Yellowstone, okay, that it is talking about a principle that there is a super volcano up under Yellowstone, okay? So now here we got Yahshua manifesting himself as the chief cornerstone, and then we got the sun around him with the colors of orange and yellow, okay? So therefore, this is Yellowstone, since Yahshua's principle as the chief cornerstone, and therefore, all the principles of the earthquakes that's manifesting within the heart of the earth is principled by him, because he is the interior manifestation of the creation, okay? And it says over 140 earthquakes had manifested in one day. Now it says at 5:52 p.m. So therefore, it takes us back to the first hour once again, see, and it takes us to the fourth watch. Okay. Now Yahshua's principle as 4 because Yahshua is the door. Principle as a 4 pertaining to the threefold intangible tabernacle pattern. You understand what I'm saying? Then we got 140 earthquakes. All right. So when we look at 140, we understand that we add them together, and that's a principle of 5 pertaining to the principles of Pentecost, to where the spirit of Yahshua Messiah must be in you. You understand what I'm saying? And pertaining to that, when he gave up the ghost, you understand what I'm saying? So that his spirit could manifest in you, that there was what? An earthquake. So now it's principle as 140 earthquakes happening simultaneously. All right. Then it's telling you that the majority of them, see, wasn't no bigger, see, than a 3.0 magnitude, and the largest one was a 3.1. Because why? We shared with you that pertaining to Yahshua the Messiah, that he was what? 30 years old when he began his ministry. Then at the age of 33, you understand what I'm saying, when he gave up the ghost, there was what? A big earthquake. And then when he resurrected from the grave, you understand what I'm saying? Hold on. The whole thing about it was that this had manifested on Friday. All right. So Friday is manifesting the 1,000th part of the day pertaining to Yahweh based upon the 2,300 prophecy pertaining to the Messiah and his resurrection. Because Friday is 1,000, Saturday is 1,000. And then when we get to Sunday, that's the 300 part of that particular morning, to where he resurrected early that morning, that allowed the 70 years short of a day pertaining to the principles of Adam that lived 930 years. This made it a whole entire day when Yahshua did this, from the time of Adam here all the way up to the Messiah, was one eternal day within the spirit, okay, which picked up the principles of 1,000, okay? because Adam was 930. And you add them 70, that 70 principle, that makes it 1,000 or 1 day of Yahweh Elohim. And like the scripture says, 1,000 years is a day unto Yahweh, and a day is unto 1,000 years. Okay, we can see that within the scriptures over there, I believe in Psalm, and over there in the book of Peter. So now we come back to these principles and we see how it's correlated pertaining to the things of Yahshua the Messiah. Let me continue. It says that the geologist said that the earthquake sequence like these are common and accounted for. It says roughly 50% of the total seismic in the Yellowstone region, that the swarm is similar to the one that occurred in about the same place during December of 2020. So now roughly it says 50%. We share with you the principle of 50, all right? 50 is pertaining to Pentecost, as well as the high priest being 50 years old, that he retired from his ministry. You understand? And then it says that that some people, however, are still worried about the earthquakes in Yellowstone. It says are a sign that the super volcano that lies beneath the park will soon erupt. Okay? Why? Because we understand that when Yahshua had given us the ghost, you understand what I'm saying, that earthquake happened, that volcano erupted. You understand what I'm saying? And see, when he erupted, we understand that he gave up the ghost. You understand what I'm saying? That when, you know what I mean? That he had to stay within the heart of the earth for 3 days. You understand what I'm saying? So therefore, when he died, he went into the earth and had to manifest himself, you understand what I'm saying, for 3 phenomenal days before he resurrected. And then when he resurrected and his angel came down and rolled away the stone, they said that there was a big earthquake that had manifested. You understand what I'm saying? So now it's telling you again, see, that, that if we got a principle of 1 and 4, okay? The 3 phenomenal days, you take that 4 and that 1 and you take away that 1 from 4, and then you got the number of 3 to pick up the 3 phenomenal days pertaining to the earthquakes, and then that is another principle of your 140 earthquakes. And remember that 0 is what? A placeholder. You understand what I'm saying? So you could take this numerology and do whatever you want to do it to prove the principles pertaining to the Messiah and the things that he did when he was manifesting himself within the earth plane, and to see the things that he came in to do to fulfill them pertaining to the laws of what he had to fulfill pertaining to the things of Moses. You understand? So now we're going back and picking up the same principle, and we're seeing who is the cause, the etiology, the cause and effect, okay, of what's manifesting within the world. Because we told you that this is the exterior and this is the interior of the whole entire creation. This is showing you the inner organic physical body of the earth, okay, showing you the outside, and then this is showing you the things that's going on the inside, pertaining to all these particular principles pertaining to the Messiah. It said that these stones are signs that super volcano lies beneath the park will soon erupt, which could have regional and global consequences. It says such a great eruption would have regional effects, such as falling ash in short term, years to decades. It says as falling ash changes to global climate, those parts of the surrounding states of Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, that are the closest to Yellowstone would be affected by pyroclastic flows with other places in the US. It says would be impacted by falling ash. Now, right here, I want to stop. Now it says that the closest states to Yellowstone would be the state of Montana and Idaho and Wyoming. Now, that brings us here to the vision, okay? Because when we come here, and if you look, I'm going to focus in, it's because when it's pertaining to Idaho, I had prophesied that there would be an earthquake April 1st. And it says right here that April 1st, 2020, that 2020, April 1st, is a magnitude of 6.5 in Chalice, Idaho, the Dominican Republic, and New Zealand. Okay? Now, I prophesied this earthquake right here. I have told over 30 individuals within our school system that this earthquake was going to sit up and happen, and this earthquake happened. And it happened in Idaho. And it says April 1st, 2020, which was the opening or the beginning, of this fifth age and the seventh dispensation. Okay. And I did it according to this prophetic timetable, which is right below here, pertaining to the count of time from Abib, the sacred year calendar. All right. So therefore, it went all the way back and said that April 1st in 1946, that it was a magnitude of an 8.6 massive earthquake that caused a tsunami that struck Alaska to North America. Okay. Now, this was another recapitulation based upon that it had happened in 1946, and I prophesied the one in 2020. All right. So now, within this particular article, it's saying that if Yellowstone, okay, that's super volcano that's up under Yellowstone, all right, if it was to ever erupt, that those states would be the affected states that it would manifest itself in. So now what happens is that pertaining to this particular article in the earthquakes that happened, is coming right back full circle based upon the earthquake that I have prophesied in the year of April 1st, 2020. You understand? It's coming back full circle. It says that the USGS doesn't think an eruption at Yellowstone is likely for thousands of years, even with current swarms. Swarms happen in many places where there is volcanic activity. It says the most common is when water gets into faults in the Earth's crust, according to USGS. So therefore, pertaining to United States Geological Survey, they says that they estimate that it's not likely for that particular super volcano to erupt for thousands of years, but yet and still we're having a lot of activity. Okay, but they say that pertaining to that is green, meaning that the color green is safe. All right, at this particular time. But what we wanted to do was we wanted to be able to go over these particular things to show you all these particular principles and the things that's manifesting right now within the world today, pertaining to our news and the ecologies and the things that are manifesting within the scriptures. I really hope that you take to mind the things that are said this evening. I really hope that you pick up your book, do a little research for yourself, and hopefully, pertaining to one of my aims and objectives is to make you see these things pertaining to the Creator and how that is having an effect on our world today. And if you are one who truly believes within the Creator and worship Him within spirit and in truth, come out from amongst these nations, okay? That's what we all have to do, because it says that all nations, okay, have partaken, of, the wrath of the wine that the harlot has drunken, and Yahweh Elohim is pouring out his wrath upon the world based upon all those that have lived, delicate up under, the riches of the that great harlot, and now we see how all things are burning. You understand what I'm saying? And how people are crying, and how these things that are taking place within the world, they don't understand what's going on. The Creator is trying to get your attention. I'm hoping that you are paying heed, or paying attention to the things that He is sitting up saying to the world. I'm trying my best to interpret to you what the Creator is saying by the things that's happening based upon the things that are within the scriptures and the divine vision that was given to us by our founder, Dr. Henry Tufter Kinley. And then as well, that was given to me in the year of 2002, okay? Our founder had his vision in the year of 1931. His vision has been unscathed for 90 years, okay? He has taken it around the world in 3 ecclesiastical peace missions, and have no religious organization have been able to disprove or shut it down for 90 years, all right? And so therefore, within that 90 years, Yahweh Elohim has given me this divine vision and the witnesses pertaining to the things that He has told me and instructed me to say to all my elders within the same organization. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of individuals, I'm gonna tell you this, they did not take heed to the things that I said. You understand what I'm saying? As well as try to shut down the vision and revelation behind me down and then allow me to be able to share it. This is why I'm not sharing it within my school system. I'm bringing it to the world, sharing it with you. I'm sharing and trying to prove to you the facts that our founder, Dr. Henry Clifford Kinley, have proved to the world. And I can do no more than what I see my father do. I'm doing the same thing. All I'm trying to do is relay a message from the Creator to the world, what's going on. Hopefully you will take heed. Hopefully you will listen. Hopefully you will have eyes to see, you know? So all I'm doing is getting the blood off of my hands. See, there's no point of man having all this understanding, this knowledge, and not being able to share to the world or share with the people to give them a fair chance, see, to make amends with the Creator, get his temple right. You understand what I'm saying? Get it swept and garnished so that in the day that we all have to face, see, God, okay, on that day of judgment, that he will say, good and faithful servant, enter you into the pasture or into the kingdom of heaven. See, that's what we all want to hear. And we all want our names written, see, within his book, within the book of life and within the Lamb's book of life. You understand? So this is the reason why that I am laboring my best. I study to show not only myself approved, a workman who needs not to be ashamed, mighty dividing the word of truth. I'm not ashamed of nothing that I'm saying to you because it's not me saying it to you. It's have already been written in the book called the Bible. Already been written. So in essence, I ain't telling you nothing that the individuals that's within this book haven't said to the world already. All I'm trying to do is give the whole world a fair chance, okay, to hear what the Creator is saying before it is eternally too late. Okay, so that being said, let us go hence. And I'm hoping that it is something that I said that will allow you to be able to understand something pertaining to the purpose of the Creator. You understand what I'm saying? And allow you to be able to understand spiritual things. Okay? Now, the scriptures cannot be broken, and his word will not come back unto him void. All right? So, that being said, let us go get the doxology, which is Ephesians 3rd chapter, verses 20 through 21. And it reads as follows. Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundant above all that we ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. Unto him be glory in the assembly by the Messiah Yahshua throughout all generations and all ages. Well, I hope that you guys join me Wednesday, and let's see what the Creator will reveal to us pertaining to his purpose. That being said, let us go hence. Shalom.